Hey, what's going on? So today, Zari, say hi. Zari and I are going to teach you guys a little bit about why counting calories really doesn't make much sense. So first off, when you look at a package and you read the calories, they're often 20 to 30% off right from the get-go. But what's really important is what you eat isn't what you absorb, okay? So here we have almonds, and here we have almond butter. So almond butter is almonds that's ground up or kind of pre-digested, okay? So if I eat, say, 500 calories worth of almonds, I'm gonna absorb a lot less calories than if I eat 500 calories worth of almond butter because it is in fact pre-digested. So a lot of foods that are processed, you absorb pretty much all the calories you consume. But when you eat unprocessed whole foods, you absorb way less. So it doesn't really matter what's written on the package. One, it's off. And two, what you eat isn't what you absorb. Plus, the type of calories matter. So different types of calories affect your hormones differently, and your hormones has a huge, huge impact on weight gain and weight loss. Also, there's a thing called the thermic effect of food. So what that means is if you eat a steak, for example, like a good protein steak, it's hard to digest that steak, right? So about 30% of the calories in that steak are burned up just by the digestion process. Like your body has to burn calories to digest the steak. If you eat processed foods, breads, pastas, cookies, crackers, crap that people eat on a regular basis, breakfast, waffles, muffins, all that junk, it's so easy to digest. It's like really, really easy digest process to break it, turn it into sugar, and you get all of those calories, right? Hold on, buddy. So the moral of the video is to make it really, really easy. That's how I make it really, really easy with everybody I teach, is we just, as much as possible, stick with whole foods, right? And we do portions based on size. So where I find most people get in trouble, if they're truly eating healthy, like first step is always switching over to just consuming quality, healthy foods. That's step one. So let's say you are truly eating healthy foods. You can eat too much health foods and hit a weight loss plateau. Right? And that weight loss plateau usually comes from eating too many oils, nuts, or nut butters. So that's when we start looking at portions, right? So going to nuts, whole nuts instead of butters helps, but also for like a nut butter or oils, think like the size of your thumb. Like that right there, that much nut butter is a portion size. Or like if you have nuts that you're gonna eat, like the size of your thumb. Sometimes what happens too is we buy, like the salty wasabi, amazing tasting nuts. It's really easy to overeat them. So I always try and get just raw nuts. They don't taste as good, but then it limits how many you eat. And then also you have to think, like, let's say you're in the wilderness and you actually came to a nut tree, which if you actually spend time on the wilderness, there's tons of nut trees. Like behind my house, there's hickory trees everywhere, acorn trees everywhere. There were butternuts everywhere, but they got a disease and they're dying off. There were chestnut trees everywhere, but they're all gone now from disease. But the moral story is when you come to a nut, it's a lot of work to get to the meaty part of the nut. So you would spend a lot of time just to get some nuts. You wouldn't have them pre-shelled like this where you can just kick them back by the handfuls. So you got to be careful with nuts and oils especially. All right, so I hope that helps, and it's one of the reasons why in my programs we never count calories or points. So points is just, it's so dumb. It's just they convert calories to points, and then as long as you're under your points, it's supposed to be good. And I mean, also, just so you know, like counting calories can work if the only goal is weight loss, because just if you're conscious of counting calories and eat less, you're going to lose weight, but that doesn't mean it's optimal for human health and longevity. And everything I do is based on optimal. And I should say too, like when it comes to her health and my health, pretty good isn't close to good enough, right? Like pretty good applies for like, is my car clean? It's pretty clean. Is our house clean? No, it's pretty dirty. But for health, I want optimum. And for nutrition, I want optimum. I shoot for optimum always, because there's nothing more important than my family's health. And so why would I give them something other than optimal nutrition to make them as healthy as possible? And as you can see, her just packing away blueberries. Eating healthy can be very, very enjoyable and very, very simple. So we never count calories because it really doesn't make any sense. Counting points, which is a different way of counting calories, doesn't make any sense. It's all based on choosing healthy foods and then portions just based on size.